I haven't gone out in a while, so I decided to go visit a friend and see what the night offered. Maybe a dinner, possibly a movie. I was already dressed, so I put on some socks, but they had a hole in them. All of my laundry was dirty, so I had to wear my white socks. I don't normally wear my white socks, but they were the only ones I had, so I grabbed my keys and paused my favorite podcast. Before I headed out, I wanted to grab a drink, so I went in the fridge and got myself a Sprite. After grabbing the Sprite, I left the house and I looked down at my white socks. They were looking right back at me. I ignored it and got in my car. On the way there, I could barely contain my excitement for the night we had in store, but finally, I had arrived. When I got there, I was greeted by multiple furry friends and nervously began going the wrong direction until my friend had told me he was in the living room. After making a complete fool out of myself, I had to face him. I took a deep breath and gathered my thoughts before walking into the living room. As soon as I sat down, my friend was eating dinner. I hadn't eaten anything, but I was sure he would offer me a plate. As I sat there watching him eat, my stomach grumbled, but I was sure once he was finished I could eat whatever food was left on his plate. I continued to sit there in silence, not wanting to interrupt his meal, but after 20 long minutes I realized I would not be eating that night. I watched as he threw away his half-empty plate and searched the fridge for more food to waste. I was then left alone in the living room with the only thing left to save the night, an episode of my favorite show, The Virgin River. Before I could start watching my favorite TV show, my friend's cat stopped by to say hello. I was slightly hesitant because I am deathly allergic of cats and they terrify me. However, he seemed to be very interested in me and decided to climb all over my lap. I was starting to warm up to him, but quickly he showed me his true intentions. After dinner, I had high hopes to see what our next activity would be. However, reality caved in around me when I was told my friend's girlfriend was coming over. When his girlfriend arrived, she walked inside, waved hello to everyone, and began going upstairs. Could she have made the same mistake as me? Maybe we all walk up the stairs. Maybe we aren't that different after all. But when she came back downstairs, they had a gift for her. What's next? Dinner too? In a fit of rage, I left my friend's house feeling like the third wheel I was. As I began to leave my friend's house, I had a great idea. So in a final attempt to save the night, I headed to my absolute favorite place to eat. I wasn't sure what to order, so I looked over the menu and got one of everything. I really hoped this would make me feel better, but it did not. When I got back home, I took a deep breath and began to cry over the night I did not get to enjoy. But I went to the fridge and got myself a Sprite in hopes of cheering myself up. After opening the Sprite, I looked back down at my white socks and I think to myself, would this have all been different if I just wore my black socks?
Where's my cat?
Can invite her over on our night, dude. We were supposed to have a special night together. I was gonna treat you.
I'm sorry.
I specifically told him to ask you if it's okay if I came.
Well, he didn't, okay? And I'm still upset that you left trash in my car, okay, Anna? Right now, we're on rocky roads, okay?
Connor, I apologize that I left a piece of gum in a wrapper and then like 3 wrappers on your floor.